Hey there, yogi. Welcome to today's practice, mindful meditations. Ugh, Luna is slobbering everywhere. I don't even know if she's in frame. Anyway, today's practice, we're gonna do just that. We're gonna do some meditations. So you don't really need a mat unless you prefer to lay on your mat to like get into the zone for things. Get into some comfy clothes. Most of these you can do either lying down or just taking a break during your day to sit at your desk or whatever. Luna is ready to meditate on some treats. So if you need to pause me, you can. I'm going to skip the intro today because we're mainly just going to, like I said, meditate and do a little bit of breath work. Summer gets to be really crazy and really frantic, and it's so busy and fun and just lots of things, and the energy is really high. So I thought some meditations that you can put in your little pocket and save for whenever you need to just kind of like ground down and zen out would be helpful. So that's what we'll do today. All right, so you can take a position of rest or comfort. Just quick disclaimer, don't do any of these while you're like driving. It probably goes without saying, but these are meant, most of them, your eyes will be closed. So not recommended at all. All right, so you can take a comfortable seated position, or you can lie down in your bed and just focus on listening to the sound of my voice. There aren't any physical cues today, except for I'll throw in a mudra at some point, so then you can look at the screen if you need to. Take a few moments to get into your breath, and the very first meditation I'm going to share with you today is Soham meditation. We've done it in past videos. This is one that I personally use, and it's a good quick one if you just need to tamp down your anxiety and get back down into your body. So you can close your eyes down and start to take those deep, lovely belly breaths, feeling the sensation of the breath going in and out of your body, in and out of your lungs. And now I want you to inwardly watch the breath as you inhale, having it run from the tip of your nose to the space behind your heart on the inhale. And as you exhale, imagine the breath leaving the space behind your heart and coming back out to the tip of your nose. So inhale, breath goes from the tip of the nose to the space behind the heart. Exhale, the breath leaves behind the heart and comes back out to the tip of the nose. Continue to watch your breath this way to keep your mind preoccupied with this path of your breath. And now as you inhale, you can say to yourself inwardly, or you can say it out loud, so. And as you exhale, you can say to yourself, hum. Inhale is so, exhale is hum, for as long as the breath lasts. So hum meaning I am that I am. Spend 3 more rounds of breath this way. So, hum. So, hum. One more. Take a moment to notice how your body feels. Sometimes breath work is really lovely at chilling me out personally, and sometimes it tends to make me a little bit more anxious. So as you go through these meditations with me, if one really helps you out, maybe stick to that one first. And if some of them make you feel a little bit weird, maybe back off of it for a little bit or come back to it when you're in a different headspace. I do that all the time. The next one we're going to do is a visualization, and so you can stay lying down or in a seated position, and I want you just to bring your hands over the top of one another. So I lied in my intro. So you're going to bring your hands over the top of one another, palms facing each other, fairly close together, so you can kind of feel the heat radiating off of your hands to one another. Close your eyes down, and I want you to imagine someone very close to you, a loved one, a friend, a fur baby, whatever you want to do. But imagine someone that's very dear to you, and I want you to hold this space in between your hands for them. I want you to visualize light and love in between your hands radiating for them. And then I want you to send it to them. Maybe visualizing where they are or where you think they are in this moment in time. creating love and light for them and for yourself. Now I want you to move your hands just a little bit further apart, and they can be resting on your torso if you're laying down. And I want you to grow this ball of light and love to a bigger group of people. Maybe it's your extended family, maybe it's your parents or your friends, group of coworkers. I want you to grow that ball of light and think about those people and send this lovely, brilliant ball of love and peace to them. Continuing to be with your breath. Now moving your hands a little bit further apart, making the ball bigger, I want you to visualize your community. Maybe it's the town where you live, maybe it's where you practice yoga, maybe it's just a big group of people that you're a part of, maybe you're on some sports team for the summer, or like I said, like you've got a group of coworkers that you really, really enjoy, but grow that to your community, the people that you choose to surround yourself with, or maybe you don't choose if they're coworkers, but you like them all the same. And continue to radiate this love and this light for them, holding space for them, holding them in your heart and in your mind, and sending this to them. And now making the ball even bigger, I want you to visualize the entire world. And if that's a little too big for you, maybe you're envisioning your entire town or state. You can keep it a little bit more small, but we still want to take this energy like pretty big. So imagining either the town where you live and the people in it, the state that you're in, or the entire world, and growing that love and light and sending it outward to all those people, being grateful for where you are and all that you have and the connection that you have to everything in your world and the connection you have to universe and spirit. Taking 2 more breaths here, keeping that visualization, all that light and love radiating outward. You can release your hands and take 2 breaths. The next meditation we're going to do is the full body scan. For this one, I do recommend that you lay in Shavasana or like lay all the way down. You can do this seated and it's completely okay. I find it best when I'm like completely laying down if I really want to zen out, but you do whatever is best for you. Everybody's a little bit different and has different preferences. So once you find the position that is best for you, I want you to take your awareness all the way down to the tips of your toes. Feeling the temperature on them, feeling any sort of sensation that may be around them. If you're outside, maybe there's a breeze, maybe the sun is on them. And now bringing your awareness to the soles of your feet, the bottoms. Are they touching something? Is there air on them? Our feet don't often get to have points where they're not touching something. So if you're laying down, allow the freedom of nothing on the bottoms of your feet to really soak in, to let them bring in that rest and that relaxation. Now bring your awareness to the tops of your feet. Again, feeling any texture if you have socks on. Move into your ankles. Notice their position. And staying with as much stillness as you can, moving into your shins and your calves. Checking any sensations that might be there. And as you continue to scan through your body, if you find any tension or any spots that maybe you're subconsciously holding upright, see if you can release them with your breath. Every time you exhale, relaxing, releasing, sinking a little further into some Zen mindset. Moving your awareness into your knees, the fronts of your kneecap, and the backs. Noticing their position, if they're slightly bent or if they're straight. Making sure that they're not tensed. Moving into your quads now, feeling into those muscles, showing some appreciation for these big, strong leg muscles you have. Move into your hamstrings. And now coming into your hips, feeling the hip joints, the position, the sockets. Again, releasing any tension that might be kicking it there. Rising to your low back, noticing if it's touching anything. And now coming frontward to the front body, your belly, feeling the breath fully expand the tummy and release as you exhale. Bring your awareness up to the space between your shoulder blades. Notice where they are. And as you exhale, imagining that they're sliding down, pressing into the mat or pressing into the back of a chair. And now move and shift your awareness forward into your front body to your heart center where your heart chakra lives. And taking a moment here for some silence for your heart. Notice if there's any feelings and emotions around your heart. Try not to avoid them, but let them flow. Let them come out. Let your heart speak to you. Shifting upward to your collarbone, thinking about its layout, where it is. Bringing your awareness to your shoulders, soften them if necessary. And now coming down to the very tips of your fingers. Where are they? What are they touching? How are they positioned? Move your awareness to the fronts and backs of your hands, noticing the temperature. The temperature of our hands and feet can also be very telling. So if you find yourself having cold hands and feet often, you may have a little more anxiety than you anticipated. No judgment or attachment, but these are good signs when we check in with the body and what it's doing. We can get messages as to what we need to do to take better care. So notice the temperature of your hands and maybe just take a quick note if you do find them often cold, what you can do to get the circulation going and to get back into your parasympathetic nervous system so that you can get your hands and feet warmed up. Moving into your wrists now. Notice if there's a slight bend. Coming into your forearms, fronts and backs. Climb into the elbows. And then coming into the tri and biceps. Appreciating these strong arms that you have and these hands you have to hold and grab and create things. Come back up into your shoulders, briefly resting your awareness there. And now moving into your neck and your throat, noticing the back of your neck, feeling any sensation that might be there, what the muscles are doing. And now moving to the front where your throat is. Feeling the breath going down into the body and flowing back up and out through your nose or mouth. Move up into your jaw and your chin, unclenching your teeth, checking the position of your tongue. Move to your nostrils, again feeling the breath coming in and back out. Notice the cooling of the breath, or maybe it's hot if you're outside. Being fully present with that breath. Move to your eyes, resting in their sockets, heavy. Still seeing, even though they're closed. Move to your brow and the center of your forehead where your third eye lives. And taking your gaze there with your eyes closed, noticing any colors or shapes or darkness. Notice the tops of your ears, if your hair is brushing against them. And now moving to the very top of your head, your crown chakra, thinking about the space that lives there, and briefly imagining each and every hair follicle that's coming out of your head. Now shifting your awareness to imagine your whole right side body, your sun side, your masculine side, the side of active, of energy. And now shifting your awareness to your whole left side body, your lunar side, the feminine side, the calming, grounding energy. Move your awareness, thinking of your whole front body, noticing all parts of you on the front side. And now shifting to your back body, noticing what's touching, what's connected. And finally visualizing the entire body holding space for all that is you and all that you are. The light and the dark, the yin and the yang. There has to be two sides for balance and completion. Take 3 more breaths. You can slowly wiggle your toes and fingers and deepen the breath to come out of this meditation. The next one we're going to do is really a good pocket practice if you're out and about. The full body scan is kind of a good one if you're at home and you really need help like winding down. That one is a little bit longer, so it's a good one like before you go to sleep at night, or if you're frantic and you really need to like get back down into your body. The next one we're going to do is box breathing, and this is a good one like I said, when you're out and about or if you're at work and you just need to take like 2 minutes. I do Kriya's breath work almost every morning, and but sometimes I just set my timer for 5 minutes and I sit on my meditation cushion and I just sit with my breath and I meditate or I chant within that 5-minute window, and I just really try to like get down into my body because I'm in my head a lot. So box breathing is a really good one, especially if you're one of those people that you're up here all the time. We tend to disassociate from the neck down. Like we just don't want to be down there because we learned that habit somewhere along the line. It's a coping mechanism, it's a defense mechanism, it's to keep you safe. But now in adulthood, a gentle reminder that you can live in your body, that you're safe now, and those mechanisms that you developed early on aren't necessarily necessary anymore. So box breathing, any sort of breath work is good, especially like I disassociate with my body way more than I would like to admit. So these breathing techniques are a good way for us to shift that energy down, and that's what helps ground us too. When you're up in your headspace all the time, like your energy is up, and so that leads to anxiety. I'm speaking from personal experience. Okay, so box breathing is, it's just like a box, so it's an inhale for 4, a hold for 4, an exhale for 4, and a hold for 4 to create the little box. So if your breath doesn't quite go with my count, you can pause the video and practice on your own. So getting ready, closing your eyes down, you will inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, release, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 2 more rounds. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. And hold, 2, 3, 4. Last time, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Release. 2, 3, 4. And hold. 2, 3, 4. You can come back to your normal round of breathing. Noticing again how you feel, what this breathwork meditation has done for you. It's good to really check and notice what works. Sometimes we kind of like push things aside and aren't really intentional with what we practice. So it's good to really like be mindful about what you're doing and how it makes you feel. Box breathing is a really good one. If you can't fall asleep at night, it's kind of like counting sheep. It's a way to keep your mind preoccupied on something that is repetitive instead of your thoughts like rambling on into all hours of the evening, which is what mine does from time to time. This last one we're gonna do is a really good one if you are in line at the grocery store, or you have to wait for something, or maybe you're at a summer concert and there's just so much energy around you, you kind of need to like ground back down. This will happen to me from time to time. I get like sensory overload, and I just, there's so many noises that it kind of freaks me out sometimes. So I really have to work on like getting back down in my body and like focusing on my feet is what I do to kind of like chill out. Maybe you're like this, I'm really sensitive to sound. And so at one of my softball games, each dugout had different music playing. And when I got up to bat, I could hear both songs going, and I was like, there's too much noise, like it's freaking me out. And so maybe you're like that, but these are also good things to know if you have these kind of like triggers, we'll call them. It's not necessarily a trigger, but can be. But I've learned within the last like 3 years that I am sensitive to sound. Like certain noises will kind of freak me out. So knowing what to do in that situation is really, really helpful. So if you're like that, or maybe you know certain things that kind of like make you frantic and get out of your body and you're not grounded, this is a really good practice for that. So you can just take mountain pose, and if you're in a space where like that might look weird, you can stand normal. You can or don't have to close your eyes down, but this is definitely a standing meditation. So you're going to start with your awareness down in your feet. So notice them flat on the ground, pressing into earth, and earth coming back to meet your feet and support you, holding you to this beautiful planet that has everything that you need right here, right now. Staying focused on the feet, staying completely present with your breath. And if you do feel yourself climbing into that headspace, see if you can mentally drain down through your body into your feet, pushing that energy down into earth, that anxious energy. Notice the four corners of your feet, starting with the inside corner at the knuckle below your big toe. Feel that press into earth. Maybe you rotate your knees inward a little bit so you can press into those points. And now move your awareness outward to the outside corner, just below your pinky toes. And maybe you rotate your knees outward slightly just to press into that point. And now center back up so that you're pressing into those 2 points evenly, those front 2 points. And now take your awareness back to the inside corners of your heels. Maybe you press back into those a little bit too. Toes might lift up just to feel into that 3rd point. And now move your awareness outward to the outsides of your heels. Press in there. Maybe you rotate the knees out slightly, being mindful of your knees, of course. And now feel into all 4 corners of your feet evenly. Pressing in, slight bend in your knees. Notice your ankle joints. Notice your hip joints and your knees, everything stacked up, high chest, shoulders down and back. Standing in this proud posture, holding space for yourself and all that is you. And now you're just going to start to shift your weight back from those front 2 points to those back 2 points. You can lift your toes up if that feels good. You don't have to though. But this is a good way to get down into your body, is just to shift that weight. And you may notice it slightly, so if you happen to be in line at the Target or whatever, and you just need to kind of like kill time and not ruminate over something, you can shift that weight back and forth and really feel into where those points are pressing in your feet and where your body goes, but just gently rocking back and forth. And you may eventually be able to do it so subtly that you can't really tell. And maybe you're just visualizing and you're not moving at all. That totally works too. Sometimes we can move our energy just through visualization, and it doesn't have to actually be like physical movement. Now for the last part of this exercise, imagining that you have little tiny delicate roots starting to grow out of the bottoms of your feet like a mighty tree, and they're slowly growing down into earth, holding you up, supporting you, and connecting you back to source. Imagine these roots taking shape and growing and expanding. Noticing what they look like. Are they big and round and have lots of bumps on them? Or are they small and dainty and long? Maybe they have different colors. And remembering that, just like trees, we too grow around things. Your roots may bump into rocks, and they may shift into other roots that will stop them, but they will morph and they will grow around these obstacles so that you can continue to flourish and bloom and grow on your path. Spend 3 more breaths here with your roots, with your feet, with earth. You can maybe wiggle your toes and your fingers. Maybe you're gonna wiggle your whole body a little bit. Movement is always good just to shake out the energies. You can bring your hands to heart center, eyes open or closed. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing your time and your support. I hope these little pocket practices will serve you during your hopefully super stellar summer. It was kind of hard to say. But you can take these with you and access them at any time you need to so that you can continue to stay balanced and happy. Namaste, my friend.